fanficers! Today I want to give you a little teaser of the 20-minute plots to come by showing you the summary page of one of them, one of my favorites, the external obstacle romance. So let's walk through what usually occurs in that romance. Well, in the beginning, there's an establishing a status quo moment where you see both characters show that they're comfortable in the context they live in that's going to become the external obstacle. So that might sound confusing, but what that means is you have Draco Malfoy comfortable in being a Death Eater and comfortable with his, anger towards mudbloods of the Muggleborn, and Harry not Muggleborn going through his life with no concern. Then next you have a plot trigger. It's that moment that introduces the characters or forces them together and establishes that mutual interest. So Draco Malfoy and Terry Knott then play a Quidditch game together, like just off the pitch one day, and then you start to have that mutual interest and tension. Then you have the motivation, which is that you establish the characters' interest in each other and motivation to adhere to the external factors, keeping them apart. So you have Draco wanting to be a Death Eater, liking his worldviews, but also wanting to be with Terry Knott, the Muggleborn, and these things are in conflict. That's when you have that setup get established with the details and nature of that external obstacle, Draco's love for the Death Eaters or that worldview, and all of the different issues that come involved with his parents and his family and all of it. And then you have the stakes. What large stakes are there for him either succeeding or failing at this romance and falling with each other? If he falls in love with this boy, he might lose his family and his place in his hierarchy with the Death Eaters. Next is the first action, the thing that character takes to show their interest in each other. And so usually that's a character in the external romances where they're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to reject this. And Draco Malfoy decides to walk away, where he's like, I might have been interested in you. That was a fun Quidditch game, but I'm out. I'm never talking to you again. That's when you get into the middle and you have these different phases where the relationship progresses and these small successes and small setbacks and revelations, where you have that attempt to reject each other and at the same time that falling in love and that mutual appreciation growing back and forth with that tension getting driven. In this case, you often have additional information is usually added with characters getting to know each other as they get this mutual appreciation and mutual knowledge and understanding and respect starts to grow. Next is the tension in there. That increases the tension by increasing the romance's potential to have really big costs for them according to that external romance. So maybe, for example, they're starting to play Quidditch again and Lucius arrives on the field and sees Draco doing it. And you have that tension drive upward and upward every time you kind of emphasize what he has to lose. Next is the low point, which is optional, but usually in an external obstacle romance, the low point is a moment when the characters either break off the romance and adhere to the external obstacle only to be miserable, or the external obstacle takes a heavy toll on them and the characters are separated. So if Lucius were to drag Draco off the pitch and take him away from Hogwarts, or alternatively, if the characters are like, you know what, I'm not going to date you anymore, and they end, and Terry not walks away from Draco saying, I'm not going to put up with this. Then you have the climax for these. This is the end. It starts to all come together when you have the final trial that ends when the characters overcome the external obstacle and accept their love. Then there's a confirming incident and the characters declare their love and they take action based on it. They say, I love you, or Draco proposes. And then you have the reward, which is when the relationship is finished and you get to go, hey, you know what? This is the reward for going through this whole plot. We get to be in this relationship. But you can also have extra rewards as well for like Draco deciding that he gets, friends out of it through Terry Knott or what have you that you add in. So that at the end of it is a whole external obstacle romance. And I hope that helps for you in going through and seeing if you want to write one of them and how that helps you. But also, most of all, I hope it teases you with what is going to be in store in these 20-minute plots. Happy writing!